Okay, let's unpack this one. We're diving right into a game that it really had everything. Raw emotion, some serious stress for the fans, and just an absolute nail-biter finish kept you guessing right to the end. We're talking, of course, about that Nebraska Cornhuskers versus Cincinnati Bearcats game, a 2017 win for Nebraska. Thrilling stuff. And this wasn't just, another game. It felt different, wild, kind of messy at times, heart-stopping for sure, and all happening on that huge stage at Arrowhead Stadium left fans feeling, I think, both drained and totally fired up. So our mission today, let's dig into the analysis, pull up the key insights, the twists, the turns. What's the real meaning behind this win we're asking tonight? Did Nebraska finally shake off that reputation for losing the close ones? Or was this maybe just a lucky break, a blip?
That's exactly it. That's the core question, isn't it? And what makes this so fascinating is how directly this game tackles Nebraska's history. Their, let's be honest, painful track record in tight games. Just look at the numbers since 2017. There were 12 wins and 38 losses in one-score contests. That's brutal. It's more than a stat. It's a narrative that's hung over the program. So this win, and importantly, it came after another close win. Well, that pushes back hard against that narrative. It's not just a W. It really feels like it could be a turning point, maybe a sign of a real culture shift starting to take hold, moving from a team that folds late to one that, well, finds a way. And what a stage for it. The season opener, Matt Rhule's third year, Arrowhead Stadium, just iconic. The atmosphere, electric. You had over 72,000 fans jammed in there. And looking down, it was just overwhelmingly red, a sea of red. Husker Nation, they travel like nobody else. They didn't just show up, they took over. Meanwhile, you've got Cincinnati, Scott Satterfield's team. They came in looking to make their own statement right, start the season strong. The stakes just felt enormous from the very first snap. Oh, absolutely enormous. Was just amplified everything, every single play, every decision. This game was definitely circled as a big early test for Nebraska. Could they finally shake that close game monkey off their back? So the outcome itself, it's huge. Back-to-back close wins under Rhule. That directly addresses the big weakness, the Achilles heel they've had for years. And then, of course, that moment. Malcolm Hartzog. The clutch interception. Game on the line. Final 2 minutes. And what makes it even more, powerful, he'd just been flagged for holding on the play right before. Talk about resilience.
Right. Going from a potentially game-losing penalty to the game-winning play in seconds, that says a lot. Okay, let's pivot to Nebraska's offense because there's a story there too. Growth, grit. It's an interesting mix. They ended up with 353 total yards. Sounds okay, right? But watching it, it didn't always feel smooth. It felt like hard work most of the time. And a lot of that conversation starts with the quarterback, sophomore Dylan Raiola. Huge expectations on him.
Yeah, huge expectations. And statistically, he delivered 33 of 42 passing, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the big one, 0 turnovers. That's almost 80% completion. Very solid.
You definitely saw a change in him compared to maybe last year.
More confident.
Definitely more confident. Sharper reads, quicker decisions for the most part. Now, it wasn't perfect, let's be clear. He did hold the ball a little long sometimes, took 3 sacks. That's still an area where, he needs to speed things up internally, feel that pressure maybe a bit sooner. But the positives really stood out, those clutch plays.
Yeah, tell me about those.
That 4th down, touchdown pass, right at the goal line, finds Dane Key, huge moment. And then Isaiah Hunter's catch. Going up over the defender for that other score, those aren't just nice plays on a highlight reel. Those are game-winning type plays. Under pressure. That shows you real development, exactly what you want to see from a young QB in a program trying to turn the corner.
Absolutely game-defining moments. But it wasn't all Raiola's arm, right? Emmett Johnson, the running back, had himself a night too.
Oh, definitely. Johnson was a workhorse. 25 carries, churned out 108 yards. Just steady, tough running. Kept the chains moving. And versatile, too. He added 7 catches.
Yeah.
That's huge out of the backfield. He's that kind of grinder, Does the dirty work coaches absolutely love. Takes the hits, keeps coming.
And there's something else going on with him, too, wasn't there? Something more personal.
Yeah, and this part really adds another layer. A really human element. He was playing with, you could feel it, a heavy heart. Had Pray for MPLS written on his wrist tape. For the victims of that school shooting back in his hometown, Minneapolis. It just puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? Reminds you that sometimes these games are about way more than just football. For him, clearly, it was about playing for his community, carrying that weight, that kind of motivation. It doesn't just fuel one guy. It can lift a whole team. It builds something deeper.
Wow. Yeah, that really does put the grit into a different light. Powerful stuff. Okay, so Nebraska pulls it out, shows resilience, but we have to give Cincinnati credit, too. They made this tough.
No doubt. They fought hard. Made Nebraska earn every single yard.
Their quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, passing numbers weren't huge, only 69 yards, 13 for 25.
Right, not a big day through the air for him.
But his legs, that was a different story. He was a real problem for Nebraska's defense. 96 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns for him on the ground. His mobility just seemed to gash Nebraska again and again. That felt like a recurring issue, right?
It absolutely was. And that's the big red flag coming out of this game for Nebraska defensively. Cincinnati ran for over 200 yards total. That's not black shirts football. Not what they want to see. Especially concerning. 0 sacks for Nebraska's defense. And they really struggled to contain Sorsby when he took off. That QB run game hurt them badly. It's something they have to fix because that was a problem last year too. Better teams in the Big Ten will exploit that ruthlessly if they don't shore it up.
So, a major area for improvement there.
Definitely. But credit where it's due on the defensive side too. Despite those issues with the run, the secondary actually did a pretty good job locking things down through the air, especially late. They didn't give up the big back-breaking pass plays. It was very much a bend-but-don't-break situation back there. They held firm when it mattered most.
Okay, so the pass defense held up under pressure. That's key. But there's another factor we absolutely have to talk about. It wasn't just players on the field, the crowd. Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, it's known for being loud anyway, but this was different. It wasn't Chiefs Kingdom, it was just a sea of red. Felt like Lincoln South, honestly. Cincinnati was technically the home team, but it sure didn't feel like it.
Not at all. And you're right, that impact wasn't just, visual or emotional. It was tangible. We actually have proof of how much the crowd affected the game. Cincinnati's coach, Satterfield, he said afterwards it was one of the absolute loudest places he's ever coached. And look at the consequences. Cincinnati had 4 false start penalties. 4. They actually had to switch to a silent count because of the noise. So think about that. The Husker fans weren't just cheering, they were actively disrupting the other team's offense. They won part of that game from the stands.
That's incredible. The 12th man, literally causing penalties. Amazing. Okay, but let's bring it back down to earth a little. Nebraska gets the W. Huge. But it wasn't exactly a masterpiece, was it? Stalled drives, only really one dominant offensive series the whole game. It felt kind of messy, a bit shaky at times.
No, you're spot on. It was far from perfect. And acknowledging those flaws is crucial for improvement. Like those 3 sacks on Raiola, some of those felt avoidable. He needs to speed up that clock in his head, get the ball out, or just escape faster. And we already talked about the run defense against the QB. That's a glaring issue. If they don't fix that containment problem, good Big Ten teams are going to make them pay dearly. Big runs turn into touchdowns real fast. So yeah, celebrate the win, absolutely. But use it as fuel to fix those critical areas.
Right, learning from the win. So looking ahead, what's next? Where do they go from here? They're back home next week, Memorial Stadium, facing Akron. Saturday night game, 6:3 a.m. kickoff on BTN. Seems like a good chance to work on some things.
Exactly. That Akron game isn't just a game. It's an opportunity, a chance to really focus, tune things up, work on those run fits defensively, get the offense into a better rhythm, sustain some drives, build some confidence. And if we zoom out again, think about the Matt Rhule era, year 3, starting 1-0 with these 2 kinds of close wins. That feels significant. Feels like that culture shift we talked about. Learning how to win tight games consistently. That's the bedrock of building a competitive program. And you see the buy-in, right? Raiola leading, Johnson running for something bigger, Hartzog's resilience after the flag. That's not just talent on the field. That's identity starting to form. That's how you turn corners.
Building an identity through adversity. That's a great way to frame it. So wrapping this up for you listening, this 2017 Nebraska win over Cincinnati, yeah, it was a nail-biter, but it felt like more. Kind of a statement, maybe? Not just the score, but how they won. The resilience, those individual stories like Johnson, like Hartzog, and just those clear, tangible signs of growth for a program that's been looking for this for a while.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? It poses this bigger question. How do these moments, these pressure cooker situations, these comebacks, how do they not just define one game, but shape the whole identity, the whole future path of a team? And what about the players themselves? Think about the ripple effect of that kind of resilience, that belief they just forged. Where does that take them next?
Something definitely worth watching as the season unfolds. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into what was definitely a memorable game. We hope you're walking away with a better understanding, maybe some new perspectives on that intense contest. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and definitely keep digging into those stories behind the scores.